Yo, what's up, guys? Talking about the two new animes. They're already in game, but they cannot be summoned yet. They will be summoned on the day reset, which is not here at the moment. Also, around the time of day reset, I will be getting my ass towards the airport to go to Shanghai for the EWS. So that will definitely be shown on this channel as well. But therefore, it also might be with the following few days. There's going to be a little bit less of videos. But I still definitely did want to get this video out there. I did grab, once again, the notepadder right over there. And we are going to be looking at a few statements. Where are they used? And do they need lattices? I think that those are the two most important things about the new two units, which can decide for you what you want to do. So first, let's look at Fuqiu. I guess it is pronounced Fuqiu. It's a Chinese name. And then this did like the Kiwi. It's mostly as a cho kind of sound. So I think it's Fuqiu. But skills-wise, we have the Moonlight Veil, and it's definitely a pretty interesting skill. It's like a combination of something that a Valerian does, with also a bunch more healing in there. So definitely an interesting unit. It also, if you come from Summoner's War, it gives me a little bit of the vibes of the String Masters, where the moment that they don't use their skill, they will get turn bar. The moment that they do already have the skill being used, then they will get less turn bar. So that's kind of the thing, or turn meter in this case. I'm so used to attack bar, so a little bit of both. But that's kind of the thing that you do see over here. I think she's pretty good in a bunch of healing scenarios. She is the Hollow Element, so I guess she will be best healer for Hollow Element itself. It is right now, which is the green element. But do I really think she's crazy good? I'm not too sure about that. So if we were to see where to use, I would definitely say Doki Doki. Would this maybe be a unit that would be used towards rank Gokutsu? I'm not too sure about that, but that could definitely be an option right there. For Nico Nana, definitely not there. For Aurora, definitely not there. Wrong element for that. Termaton could be an option, and I would definitely say PvP. So those are the things that we could see her being used in. Those four things where I would say she would be decent in, she would be good in, she would be possible a very strong unit in. How strong her skills actually are, I would kind of have to see in game, because sure, the Moonlight Veil and the interaction with the, what is it called, like bro code, bro code. She has the bro code. She's feeble, but she has the bro code. I'm just gonna call her bro code. I don't give a shit. But yeah, 2 random turn meters on that. It's kind of okay, but I would definitely have to see a little bit of how she works. She seems pretty strong with the Moonlight Veil, giving turn meter, giving the healing, and it does look pretty strong. But how easy is she to get turns? How much does she actually heal? Is she the best on Fortissimo, which I guess is the shell that would definitely fit on her? I'm not 100% sure about those questions, because she's kind of hard to point out of like, is this actually going to be really good, or is it going to be not that crazy good? So definitely a few things that you would actually have to see in game. But what we can already see is how many lattices are needed. So if we look at the skill 1, we cannot see what the base is at. We can actually see what the stats are in. So her speed is in the skill 1. So skill 1 is definitely more interesting. Then we have HP over here, and we got resistance in the S2. So that already means that the S1 skill ups is probably more interesting. So we have more turn meter over here and more turn meter over there. That is definitely interesting. We don't exactly know what's the base of the turn meter. Could be 5%, could be 7%. Most of the time it's kind of along these numbers. Also, we have the turn meter that is going to be, is that the reduction turn meter? Increase and decrease the turn meter. Oh, that's like both. So it's this one and that one. If it starts off with a 5%, I would definitely say S1, 5. So that's where I would say you need 4 tofus. Wait, 4. I would definitely say for the S1, yeah, you would definitely need it. For the skill 2, it's a chance to trigger the Moonlight Veil for every hit you do. So that is, she's doing 3 hits, and she can trigger Moonlight Veil 3 times with that, but she can also probably trigger it 0 times. And then also has for cooldown decrease, so to be a 3-turn cooldown. The cooldown decrease, definitely nice. This is definitely something where I would say it looks actually interesting to get into. So I would, to be honest, would say if you want to make proper use of her, we're already looking at 8. This is more optional. Let's keep that a little bit of this over here. But I would say if you go for it, you have to go all the way. Then we also have this over here, which is the healing effect, which is also once again on the Moonlight Veil. So the skill 1 gives you the turn meter, the skill 3 gives you the healing effect. If the healing effect starts off with a 5 and it goes to an 8. It's an insane amount of increase. If it starts like 6, it's still like times 1.5. So once again, I would say S3 for Tofus. And that does kind of mean you need 12 Tofus to actually make her good. That's what I think right now, from not actually having to see her in play yet. I think by the skill ups, you need 12. So if you're planning to pull for her, keep in mind that she's probably a very high investment unit, similar to like a Yelly, that if you use 0 on it, it's not that great. If you go all the way in it, it is probably a really strong unit. But then again, you need 12 Tofus. And with 12 Tofus, I mean like the 12 golden Lattices. They kind of look like tofu. So then the question about which order. So let's say order of the skills. What skill would I actually move in first? It's hard to say. Like I would definitely go for the S1 or S3. S1 does have the speed in there. So I would actually say S1, S3, and then S2. That would probably be the order that I think is most interesting. Because you get more HP from this one in the end. You get more turn meter from this. And I think the turn meter is pretty important and interesting for her. So I would say S1, S3, and then go for the S2. That is something you have to keep in mind. It is used in a whole bunch of places. It could be a very good all-round healer for you. Like you have Linglo on one side and her on the other side. But then it's also already kind of the thing. If you already invested a lot in Linglo, if already have Ling, why need this? Only thing that I could actually think of is probably actually Sharon, because Linglo is really bad at Sharon, and this might actually be your really good healer at Sharon, and that's actually a spot that I forgot over here. So if you, yeah, something like Sharon, or in PvP, if Ling stolen. Those are the only two things that I would say she's really a must in, where you wouldn't really be using something else, because Rengokutsu, that kind of stuff, you can still use Linglo. Termaton, most of the time you don't really use a healer in there regardless. Rengokutsu can use the Linglo, can use Linglo, cannot use Linglo, can use Linglo. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. So it would only be PvP and Sharon. So, and you need 12 Tofus on that. So my odds on this for pulling that, actually not that high. Like, I will probably pull it just to get it like Pokédexing wise, but I won't be like spending any extra money if I don't get it in the first place. I have been saving up until like 50, or like I think I got like 80-ish summons right now, so I definitely can pull 1 of 2 full on banner, like with a full pity. But let's see what we have on Nahor. So if we go to Nahor, we first of all check where do we have the speeds in. Speed is located in the S1. This one is healing as well, and this one is accuracy. Okay. For the skills that we have a reduction on the skill 1. So first of all, where would Nahor be used? And he is the blue element. I would definitely say he is great in Doki. He would also be really good in things like, I would say, Shadow Flame Hoyon. I would also say he's really good in any sync echoes, those kind of things, but then again, it's maybe not as crazy. Also, this Fuqiu would also be good in any sync echo, of course, but I would say any sync echo maybe. What else do we have? Sharon would definitely not place it over there. Aurora, Aurora is an option, but I don't really feel like the needs of him and that much in Aurora. It has a skill 1 armor break, but buff block on this 2 turns. You get a cleanse from that thing anyway, so I don't really see the need of it that much on just for the skill 2, and then the freeze don't really work on the ads, I think. I'm not even sure if you can freeze the ads in... If you can freeze the ads in Aurora, then maybe. But I would say more of a maybe in those. So I would mainly say Doki Doki, Shadow Flame Moyan, and if you don't have a clause, I would say Rengokutsu. I think that these 3, it's mainly the thing for there. So this can replace your clause, this can replace your clause, and this can replace your clause. So in hindsight is to replace clause. Wait, let's do it like this. Clause. Okay, so how many Lattices do we need? So we know it's like a clause replacement. If you do already have Lattice in clause, it's probably not that much of an interesting unit. Can tell you that much already. But let's see what we need for Lattices. So skill 1 goes down for a 2-turn decrease. So let me tell you about 2-turn decrease and my philosophy behind the 2-turn decrease. And I also say that in Summoner's War, 1-turn decrease on defense break compared to a 2-turn decrease is about like 5 to 10 times as good. And hear me out on that one. So if a unit is, let's say, at 99% attack bar, you go for a 1-turn defense decrease, you get only 1% attack bar turn meter of value out of that. If you had a 2-turn decrease, you will get 101%. So that goes up to a 200%, but at least you get 101%. So for that reason, and you go from a 1% to 101%. Like, sure, that is the most extreme value chance of it out there, but in a lot of cases, most units that you would be hitting are at like 50 or maybe 60, 70, 25, that kind of stuff. And therefore, you removing that death break is very short. So getting this in on max Lattices, I would say if you want to go hard on him, he would probably need S1 for Tofus. But I would also say that if you just use a general use in PvE, maybe it's less interesting for that. So if he's really your main carry to enable a lot of the damage, because in the end, he also does have a 2-turn defense break in here. And because of that, it's maybe not that interesting. So I would actually say on this one, I would probably not do it. I would definitely wait with this one in the first place. Let's look at the S2, and let's actually also go for Fuqiu in which order I would scale up in a second. I'll just add that in there. S2, what do we have? We have Dispel removing everything. So it probably is like a 1 or 2 or 3, I don't know. And then it changes to everything. And then chance for the block, I think it starts off with a 50 and then it makes that like a 70. If it's already 50, it's kind of fine. If it's like 40, it's not that fine, then you would need it. So in this case, I would actually say 0. I wouldn't really go for this skill in the first place. Like, sure, you can maybe do it at the end, but I would say 0 Tofus for you over there. Then for the skill 3, what are we looking at? We are looking at a 70 and a 50. I would definitely say you do need 4 Tofus for it. So my final verdict would actually be, if you want to use this just in PvE, I would say is 4 Tofus. PvP plus PvE is 8 Tofus. That would be my verdict on this unit for how many Tofus you would need. So that's already less than what you have on the other side. I would also say the order, I would say S3 into S1 into S2. If you do want to actually max that out. Okay, then for final verdict of Fuqiu vs Nahor. I would very simply say if you have skilled Ling, don't need Fuqiu. But also, if you have skilled claws, don't need Nahor. I would actually say the following. So, if you have skilled Ling, you probably don't really need Fuqiu. If you have skilled claws, you probably don't really need Nahor. If you are lacking a claws, you definitely 100% do want Nahor. If you are having struggles with very specific stages such as Sharon and maybe Doki Doki for a healer, but then again, Linglo can be a good healer for Doki Doki as well, you could go for Fuqiu. So my recommendation is go for Nahor, because Nahor is also is 12 Tofu, and then is forced to 8. I would also definitely do add in this. If you want to go full on Fuqiu, you probably have to max skill it all the way, and that's 12. If you go for Nahor, 4 or 8 is already fine. So with that in mind, I think I would recommend most people to go for Nahor. In the end, we haven't really seen Fuqiu in play. She's definitely a little bit harder to read of like how good she is of the skills, what she's going to be doing. It might be when we actually see her in play that she gets a lot more value. But I definitely would say the Tofus are really needed on her. And if you're not planning to put any Tofus in her any soon, you might as well not summon for her. Of course, then the final question, who am I going to be pulling for? And the answer is going to be Fuqiu. And reason for that is And the only reason for that is I have claws at a 515, and therefore I don't really feel like going for another unit that pretty much kind of does the same thing, but a little bit different, but a little bit better maybe. It's definitely a little bit same, but different, but still the same. So I do think I go for Fuqiu first, but I will be pulling both. Because I am pretty sure I will have enough time, so let's see how many of summons do I have at the moment. I'm currently looking at 79, so I can pull 1 unit guaranteed, and then I have like 2 more weeks to gather enough of these, or maybe buy like 1 pack-ish here or there. So I will be pulling both in the end, but the first one I will go for is Fuqiu. So that is my recommendation on those 2 units. Hope you did enjoy. Let me know in the comments who you are going to be summoning for, and see you as always in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.